Happy Onewheel Wednesday, everybody. My name is Scot Mendenhall. Thank you for joining us today. We have energy because we are passionate about life, and we do a lot of the living of this life. I'm joined with some good friends. We have my beloved wife of 23 years over here with her purple Viking hat on. It's Holly Mendenhall.
You know it. Hi, everybody.
How are you doing?
Doing really, really good.
We have learned with Holly that from the last podcast to now, she doesn't like the 5-inch hub. Her issues of why she's not riding as much is because I switched out her setup. Thought she'd like more cushion. She doesn't like the nibbleness.
Wow.
I know. It's a shocker. It's sad. We're gonna change.
I mean, I can do it, so there's not really any excuse.
We're changing it out. Okay, we got Lily, a good friend of ours,
Hello,
forever,
everyone.
in today. She brought some pickles back from New York for us. We were chomping on those a few moments ago. Lil, how you doing today?
Doing good. I love pickles.
What is the name of your favorite pickle that you just brought back?
Half sours.
Half sours.
Kosher half sours.
What a name.
Find them in any Jewish deli.
Yeah, it's so
Hopefully.
good. She tried to fly home with 5 gallons.
No, I flew home with 2 quarts.
2 quarts, but you wanted to
quarts
ship
sans
5
the
gallons of
liquid.
pickles.
I gotta see what I was.
Okay, she was
looking
trying
at
5
here.
gallons of pickles, and she's like, it costs too much. Yeah, you don't
No, I
think?
think it was a half gallon.
A half gallon, still that.
And then a 5-gallon bucket was what I got for the wedding.
Oh, yeah, she imported pickles for only a human I know is like.
Picklelicious.com, y'all look it up.
She's the only human being that I know of that did a wedding, got married, and wanted to have pickles flown in from New York. It's crazy.
New
It's
Jersey.
crazy. From New Jersey. Sorry, I got to speak right. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. We're excited about our guest today. We're going to get right to it. We spent a lot of time just talking off camera. We love catching up with our guests. That's one of the caveats of doing what we get to do. We get to sit down with some of the most genuine, kindest people in the world and just talk to them. And so today, this was our very first guest ever as we started a podcast. We were in a garage. It was 100 degrees in there. Lily and I smashed together. We used the camera of a laptop just to talk to this guy. If you don't know this guy, this is Bode. Bode is a legend. He's the OG, but he's not so OG. He's a current OG. This guy laying down tricks, filming some content is mind-blowing. He's got a great story. He has made everyone's life better. His energy, his creativity. Books should be written about this man. This is a pro one-wheeler and the most legit trickster on a one-wheel, Bodhi Harrison, everybody.
Woo!
How we doing, Bodhi, today?
Fantastic. Loving life.
He's
How are you, crew?
We're doing great.
Fantastic, loving life.
We're gonna point out right away because I'm sure people are gonna ask. Can you just give us a weather update? Because it looks like you're coming from like some Aspen mountainside with that puffy coat on. You out at the headquarters? Where are you located right now?
So I'm at the Future Motion headquarters in Santa Cruz, California. It is fall time. So during the day, it gets up to like 60. So by now it's 57 degrees outside.
Okay.
But this morning was like 40 degrees and it's humid.
Yeah.
So it's like cold, wet.
And wet.
And mind you, I'm a Colorado boy. So if I can wear a hoodie, I'm going to be wearing a hoodie. And I put on the puffy and I just feel like I'm in a blanket right now.
Yes. You look cozy, bro.
Nice and cozy.
No one's going to lie. You look cozy.
Cozy.
I think the best, and I share your opinion, I think the best piece of clothing ever created was the hoodie. Just give me a hoodie. I'm going to wear it. You know what I mean? I don't know about you, Bodhi, but I love brand new hoodies, so I tend to delay washing my hoodies I could be known to wear a hoodie without washing it for over a year because I just like that. It's so cozy.
Well, they get like firmer once you wash them.
Yeah.
I'll always air dry my hoodies the first like 3 to 5 washes before I
What
dry.
are you guys,
genius.
like twins?
This is genius. I've not tried that approach. I should try that. One of my favorite. What?
We don't dry your hoodies.
Oh, we don't. Sorry, I don't know.
The one hoodie. Your
Oh yeah, we
one-wheel
did
hoodie.
dry one. We did.
One of his one-wheel hoodies got dried, and he is so sad.
Yeah,
about
here's
it.
what happens. I think what happens is my groms in the house, my kids, they want the hoodies I have, so I think they throw them in the dryer because when I throw them in the dryer, I give them to them. And so, happened to one the gray hoodie that I had for a while.
Sabotage.
Yeah, gone. One of my youngest boys, second youngest, Epic, he runs around with that hoodie all the time, rubbing it in my face. So he's wearing it and I'm not. So that guy, man.
Sometimes it's not going to fit him though. So
I know that's the great thing around here. If you keep the clothes looking all right, they just make it through the course of everyone. So pants don't get handed down around here, but hoodies they do. We're all a hoodie family. So thanks
What's wrong
for
with the pants?
Well, they get holes in them and stuff, because especially with boys, like
You don't even want to know.
Yeah,
Bodhi. It takes. I cannot. I mean, we don't even need
What
to
kind
get
of
into this
podcast
right
did this
now.
turn into?
But our
I'm
sixth
curious.
little boy, our youngest revolution, the child has no clothes, and I cannot figure out why. Well, it's because they all have holes, and I don't know what happens.
He got the short end of the
He's a
stick.
wild
I don't
boy.
know. I don't know
Yeah,
what
he's a wild
happens.
boy.
Or
But they,
everyone
you know,
else above him is
here's the
wild.
deal. They'll go all out and mob our trails around here, and then somebody takes a nasty fall, and now they got holes in their knees. I'm like, why don't you learn to fall? Why are you landing on your knees? Like, get just
Because
nonetheless.
they're so low to the ground, they just
Yeah, that it doesn't even hurt them.
skid across.
Yeah, they're so, hey, you know, as they get bigger, they're going to figure it out. But these little guys, the little groms running around, they don't care. They just buckle down into a ball of goo, and they're like, oh, that was great. Bodhi, you've been a busy man over, I don't know, we haven't spoke to you in a long, long time, but the last year and a half been good to you.
We've been watching you.
Been watching you. Let's talk about the music you're creating, because you're being popping up here and there doing some sweet music. We should have given some samples to people. Not are you only one of the greatest one-wheel riders in street and in trails, you can make some sick music. Do you have any shows lined up? Where can people find you out there to go watch you perform?
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of DJing lately. I messed around with it in high school and then became super hyper focused on shredding and creating and all that. And then was actually picking it up again for maybe the year before I got hurt. And then I shattered my collarbone, had all kinds of extra time, and actually DJing like kind of helped keep me sane because I'm an adrenaline junkie, and so it kind of helped me like get my heart rate up in a way that wasn't dangerous. It gave me something to learn. I'm a very like progressionary person. If I feel like I'm not learning something or growing, I go crazy and feel terrible. So I'm DJing a lot. At this point, I DJ almost every one of the one wheel events I go to because everyone's trying to do music.
Right.
I'm always ready. Always got my USB on me. And then I've been getting into producing as well, which is a little trickier. I'm a drummer, so like my beat making is really strong, but learning kind of music theory basics and like training my ear to have things sound right and go together has been challenging but fun. I haven't released any songs yet, but I have like 4 or 5 songs that I'm pretty proud of. One of which is actually a remix of Oceans, one of my favorite worship songs.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool like beat trappy version of
I would
Oceans.
love to hear that.
Yeah, I'll text it to you.
Okay.
But so I just recently played my first show here in Santa Cruz at the local kava bar, which is like a root kind of tea-ish beverage. It's a place where a lot of like the sober community hangs out in town.
Okay.
And Cricket actually works there
cool.
part-time, and when he's not doing stuff with us, and I gave one of my mixes to his manager, and somebody like dropped out of a slot I think 2 weeks ago, and they hit me up, and I played a 3-hour set there, and it was super fun.
That's so
I think that's what I saw that's what I saw videos or pictures online from, because it was the most recent deal. It looked sweet. It looked the vibes were right.
It's a cool place.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got like this huge like wall with these real plant vines, colored lights. Everyone there is really cool. It's like a really artist community, friend and family vibe. Like everyone's very cool. And we're actually going to do a XR classic demo group ride and then end up at the Kava Bar next Friday. We were going to do it this Friday, but there's that fight that night. So, everybody wants to watch people beat each other up, I guess.
I even know about that. So
whoa.
it's a big deal.
Well, and Lily, for those that don't know, we're going to test you as well. Who's the fight?
Mike Tyson and some Paul guy.
What?
One of the Paul brothers.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
The older one? Is it Logan?
I thought
Logan Paul. Logan
yeah,
Paul.
I thought it was Logan.
Logan Paul.
Yeah.
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 I won't be
the
watching
Paul brothers.
No, at the end of the day,
Did
it's
you
got
see that? Did you
Go
see
ahead.
they had what's his name? Henchcliffe, the pastor, the dude that's always like debating college students, and They
No.
had like a really legendary pastor on their show recently. I've been meaning to watch
Oh,
the
actually,
pod.
yes. I've seen clips. I've
Yeah,
not watched it. Yeah. I've seen the thumbnails
yeah, I
pop
want
up
to
in my
check it
feed.
out.
Yeah. No, that fight
But
is
yeah,
intriguing.
so fights
Yeah.
Friday, and I think
You're
they're
right.
actually going to play it at the Kava Bar. Cricket was encouraging them to do that, and I think they're going to do it. And then
Yeah.
so on the 22nd, if you're in the Bay Area or you want to friggin' send it and come hang
Yeah.
out with us,
Fly from
we're going to do
Minnesota.
a group ride, classic demo, and then I'm going to be playing music there for a little
Yeah.
while, so that'll be fun.
Well, you keep bringing up the classic for everybody that's watching. What is he talking about? The XR Classic dropped last
What?
Friday. Okay, we have a picture of it for those of like you live
looks
under some kind of
awesome.
rock. You don't even know what we're speaking of. Here it is. That thing
Boom.
is all. I mean, I text.
It's
I
pretty.
not to name drop, but I'm going to. I text Jack on the launch day and just said the videos and pictures were awesome. Like just the old school vintage vibes, the grain filter on it, the car, the whole deal. Just it had all the right vibes to me. Great job to the whole team over there that did it. I think we can thumb through a few more pictures of it. This is the facts on it: 20 miles an hour, treaded tire, low boy foot pads, mag handle pro. Here is the best all around board. Let's pause there. Bodhi, do you
Whose
when it
legs are
said
those?
yeah. Whose are those? Looking so good. Okay, let's pause where it says all around best board. Is that what that said? Do you think that? Like, is that like the
Oh yeah.
GTS? No, or is it GTS is so? I'm going to use the word niche, meaning if you want performance, this is like your racing device. The
Mhm.
XR now falls into a category that you got power versus fun. I don't know. How would you explain that to us watching? How can this be the best all around board?
Well, the funny thing is the GTS was originally like a mini project where they were making it just for Race for the Rail. So they wanted to make like a special, crazy, kitted out board just for people that get into Race for the Rail to race on.
Yep.
And then they realized, this is actually pretty awesome. We should probably put this out and allow people to buy it. So that's how the GTS was born. And I love how many people get it and just use it as an everyday board and have the ability to take advantage of its strength. But at the end of the day, the GTS is specifically a race one wheel, right? So
Yeah.
it's designed for trails to go really, really fast, to be able to pick up speed really quickly from the start line to flat turns to going uphill. It was definitely designed specifically with racing in mind. And then obviously a lot of people want the biggest and baddest model, so they're going to get the GTS. But while it has its pros, like its strength, its
Yep.
customizability, its overall feel, it is pretty heavy and it
Yep.
doesn't get the greatest range because power is like its focus, right? So
Right.
the GT is still a great board for its range, rides similarly to the S, not as strong, but has more range. But they're still both pretty big boards. So
All
when it
right.
comes to carrying it when you got to cruise into the coffee shop, walk through a building, take it up to work, bring it upstairs into your apartment, whatever you need to do. It's still a pretty big board, especially when you're thinking about things like freestyle or any
Right.
kind of creative riding. It's a pretty big weight under your feet.
Yep.
And then, okay, you can go down to the pint, right? The pint is smaller. It's much easier to carry around. It's a great trunk board. It's great for taking to work if you live in the city, this and that. Great for kids. But at the end of the day, even with adding wider foot pads to the pint, it's still a pretty small platform.
Yep.
And then with the size of the pint, you're limited on the size of battery pack you can put into it for range. So the the XR Classic just kind of strikes that middle ground really well while
Yep.
having the portability, the lightness for carrying around, for doing tricks, riding, while still having a good amount of range, a solid top speed, and all the customizability that you get with the GT style firmware, where each mode is customizable and you get the gradient tracking.
Yep.
Um, so it's like, at the end of the day, any one wheel is going to be fun. Any one wheel is going to go on trails. Any one
Right.
wheel is going to ride around on the street. Like, you can't really go wrong, but each one wheel has its strengths. And
Yeah.
the classic is just kind of that awesome, like all around. It'll do tricks. It'll ride trails. It's, it's still fairly heavy. It's a one wheel, but it's a lot lighter
Right.
than the GT models.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't
it
it come in
just
on
does
the
a really good job of everything.
Bodhi, on that weight scale? Doesn't it come in a couple pounds heavier than the OG XR? Is that right? Like a couple
Yeah, it's like
pounds.
just over 2 pounds
Yeah.
So what's the
because
weight?
it's a bigger battery pack. And then we kept everything's new parts wise, except for the foot pad ecosystem,
Yep.
because we all really love the lowboy foot pads.
Yes.
We already make all the lowboy foot pads. So to completely redesign that whole system would, cost a lot of money. We make all of our stuff, so we would have to make new machines, new molds. And if we
Yeah.
already have this amazing ecosystem, maybe it's a tiny bit wider than the original XR, but I think for our manufacturing, logistics, and for people that already have
Right.
XR or GT compatible parts, whether they're ours or third party stuff, it's all still going to fit, which I think is really cool.
Which I think that's a
Because
huge nod to the community. And sometimes that gets lost, right? And all the drama people point at Future Motion, oh, community. But it's like, no, all of a sudden, this is a nod to the community. Listen, if you just bought, let's say they just bought the FST system. Well, all of a sudden, that goes right on
Right.
here. You don't have to, you're not waiting. It just goes right on. I felt like when that was stated, I was like, that's genius. I can already take the foot pads I have here that I might like differently and put them on there. I just felt like, and same with like Craft and Ride then and all the other third
or like
party.
the Cush Glow.
Yep.
Like Footlife made that super sick LED foot pad. That's going to fit. They don't have to completely re-engineer that.
Exactly. And that means
Yeah.
people can immediately start customizing their board if they wanted to go those directions. I just felt like that was pretty cool. In it, and then it's lower though. Now, at first I thought the rails kind of got thinner, but it's been lowered down just a little bit to give more of a stability ride. Is that correct?
Yeah. So it's actually the same exact width rail guards as the original XR.
Okay.
And it's funny, when we were doing our testing, all of our test boards had like Frankenstein XR rail guards on them, where like the holes are in the wrong places and there's
Oh
like
yeah.
punched out holes where the new axle holes are, just to like slightly disguise them. Like if you were a one wheeler, I'm honestly blown away we never got caught between testing and filming. Like we were really only seen by like mountain bikers, and when we were shooting all the promotional content, we would get what we needed to get and then we'd bag them up. We were like carrying them around in like Walmart carts in bags.
Hilarious.
But yeah, it's the same with rails, and then they're dropped within the rail. The axles are dropped a little bit.
Right.
So that's one of the things that helps, when it comes to one wheels, like every little millimeter counts. So
Correct.
having that little bit of lowerness feels really good. And then if you throw the recurve rail version, then you're getting even more lowered feel to it. So I'm a big fan of that feature, that just like little bit of drop really helps it feel good under your feet.
To be honest, as a guy, getting to watch those things drop, this is the GTS did the same thing to me. I just want to ride it to feel it. The Pine S, because I could update my Pine X and put all the parts to it and have a similar ride to a Pine S. There wasn't that draw. All of a sudden, it's like, I want to know what that feels like. How close to the original XR that we have running around here. We have our OG Bodhi Nod Classic back here, where it's got the pink handle, black rails sitting on maybe on Lily's shot. We can see it. You can see it right back over her shoulder. See it back there in the corner, just hanging.
Ooh.
Old school XR. Like, I like that thing. I take that thing out all the time. It's one of those boards, like you said, if I'm not going to go mob the trails with the GTS, I'm going to ride a board that it's like just overall fun. And I feel like the XR is that. It's just got that fun factor to it, and it can climb. And so I want to try this one. I want to see the extra power that comes in it, the lower, because there's not a one wheel produced by One Wheel that has this low center of gravity, right? So it's
Well, the rally would be the first one because
the
the rally came
rally.
with the recurves. But as
Yes.
far as like a stock straight rail
Yep.
one wheel, this is the first one that's been physically lowered.
Yeah, I want to ride it.
Someone wants to know how long it took from concept to launch.
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's how they worded it.
Bodhi's like, I have no idea. Since 2014.
I mean, probably shy of like a year.
Oh, nice. That's not
Okay.
Yeah,
that bad.
because
But you have
have
a
the
starting
product.
point.
Say you said
Right.
that earlier. You had somewhere to start.
You're starting from, Bodhi, your unboxing video. I love how you started in a box. What are you doing in a box? Let me get you out of the box. Just great unboxing video of you just giving the breakdown, all the different shots, the angles. Did you shoot all of that entirely by yourself, or was there somebody behind the camera most of the time? How'd you shoot that?
dude, that was me and my freaking compadre, my father, my brother,
Really?
my
That's
heterosexual
awesome.
boyfriend, Cricket Moore.
All right, there we go. I'm assuming that's where we're headed. but when
So
you said
many
fi-
nicknames.
Yeah, Cricket's been popping up everywhere. That dude can ride. Like you two,
Dude, he
you
rips.
two.
And he can shoot too. All that follow footage, like the cool
Yeah,
thing
he's
is
talented.
I was setting up the cameras and I was trying to get a monitor going, but one of the cameras I wanted to use didn't have a cage on it. And so there wasn't a way to secure the HDMI cable. And then my camera takes a different HDMI, and I don't have a long enough HDMI for a monitor for my new camera yet because mine's micro HDMI.
Okay, been there.
And I was like, all right, we're just ripping gimbal camera, no monitor. Like I know Cricket can do this, and he just
Wow.
eyeballed all that. Like just he gets his distance, he gets his length, kind of calibrates, and he was just doing super good shooting
Yeah.
and helping with
Well,
I
but-
like shooting stuff on my own, but I also love when you're shooting stuff with somebody else because they kind of can give you like do that one more time, you can do
Yeah.
it better, or like what do you think about this? Like the throwing in the box was his idea. Spinning the board when I moved on to specs was his idea. He got the video of me calling Julian asking about the voltage. He got the
Yeah.
clip of me like setting up the light, like all these little things. Like the video, I'm sure I still would have been able to make a good video, but it would have taken me longer and it would not have been as good without Cricket's help. So it's cool to have him help out. 'Cause
even
he's
as
a
you say those
really
shots,
creative guy.
those shots you just spoke of are subtle enough in the video, but it keeps your attention because it's not you just standing, here's the breakdown. It had a little bit of, oh, what's happening now? This is new. I had it. I was watching it in the office when it dropped, and for some reason I looked away. And when you went to the shot of you calling, hey, what's the specs on the battery? Well, the audio changed, so it made me look back to the screen because like, what just happened? This isn't the same audio, or it just had a different vibe to it, and so it was very captivating. I like how you spoke to both the OG rider and to a brand new person that's hopping in on a one wheel because I feel like this is a good starting spot for someone. The Pint S's and X's are great, but they're still, you look at a full-grown man and you're like, yeah, start because the price point's right, but your feet are going to be ginormous on this Pint, but it's a good start. The Pint X or the X Class, XR Classic is a great starting point because of it's going to fit so many grown men's feet and women and just be a little bit more comfortable.
Right.
So
We've often said that too, that you get into the GTS, it is for like racing, and some people that we talk to are like, what? There's a racing league?
yeah.
You know, and they didn't know that. Like if you're into racing, yeah, GTS, whatever, but this is going to be fun to watch so many people be their intro
Yeah,
for it.
and then you
maybe
guys-
they get into racing or whatever.
Then you guys go and shoot a video of the XRs with a lot of the factory team out in the woods and just showing that, hey, this isn't just a commuter. This isn't a street board. This can mob in the trails. That was well done. I think watching Cricket bonk, I don't even know if he bonked. I couldn't even catch what he did. But he
Dude,
goes,
that log that he nudged?
yeah, that's what I was going to say, that log. I was like, what is that?
Dude, I was like legit a 2.5 foot log. I don't even know how he got up there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I rewatched. It's like, is there a bonk block right there? How in the world did he just do that? And it's just right there. Anyone like that clip needs to be created into a short for you guys, and just say, hey, XR Classic does
handle
trail.
it.
Yeah,
Versus
can handle
tree.
trail. Yeah, can handle trails. I mean, it was epic. It really was. But that had great vibes in it, and again, just shows that hey, this XR Classic isn't. It's an XR on steroids. At the end of the day,
It's sweet.
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to the Santa Cruz boys for riding with us, letting us film them. We were like halfway through riding. I was like, "Oh, do we have your guys' consent to film you?" Sorry, we kind of just showed up with cameras, and they're like, "Yeah, no, of course, it's great."
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, you got to think through some of those things. It was well done. All of the marketing well done. Let's get to a couple other videos you created because you got the Santa Cruzin video with Cricket. You're the filmer in this one, right? You're the producer of it, and he's the man. Do we have like
Star.
more? Yeah. Do we have more of these videos coming? Please tell me that's not just one and done.
Oh no, dude, that's just the start. That was just like the funny thing with the whole Cricket situation is he was on tour for the last like year, just went all in on one wheeling. He's been bouncing around, hitting all the events, staying with different people, and then he ended up at Seek and Shred, and his plan was to go from Seek and Shred up to Charlotte to go spend some time in Charlotte with some of his buddies up there, and then he ends up coming with a crew from Seek and Shred down to Santa Cruz, and he comes and hangs out with us. Part of his I think he'd be comfortable with me talking about this. Part of his motivation was to hang out with Brenda, who he's now dating. And I bought a van off of some of my friends that moved to France.
Okay.
And then I bought an RV off a buddy, and I'm living in the RV now, but I still have the van. So when he came through, I put him up in the van, and then he ended up being like, "Yo, Santa Cruz is pretty sick. I like this place." And we had some work we could do with him. We had him help us at X Games. We had him help
Right.
in Huntington Beach. And so he ended up just sticking around, and nobody's asked him to leave. I've encouraged him to stay, and he likes it around here. And so yeah, it wasn't really planned, you know. He just ended up here, and I was like, dude, the van's yours. Come be here. I need you. You're my brother. And it's cool because like we're both sober, and we're encouraging each other on our sober journeys, and we both
awesome.
you know have similar mental, you know, we have our little anxiety moments and stresses, and so it's really cool. We have a very symbiotic relationship. Spiritually, he's a follower of Jesus like myself, and mentally, creatively, like we really just like build each other up and support each other a lot. So it's been really amazing having him around and getting his help on stuff. So when he pulled up, I was like, "Yo, Jack, we need to do a Cricket video. Like if he's going to be around, we got to introduce him to our channel." I don't think we've ever really done anything that like showcases Santa Cruz. Like all of our content, not all of it, the majority of our content's obviously in Santa Cruz, but to do a film that's like Santa Cruz, like the Santa Cruz spots, like showing some of the Santa Cruz things,
the vibe,
you know, like the statue, the boardwalk, downtown, like our zone, you know, we got to showcase Santa Cruz while introducing this new rider, you know, because he's also, before coming out here, we put him on the flow team. So it all just worked out really well. Jack was down, threw him some cash, let me take a bunch of days to just go run around and film with him and make that video. And like I grew up skating, I grew up snowboarding, I grew up watching the shred flicks, and like most skate videos, they film for months, if not, you know, a year to even longer, just like stacking clips. So it's just run and gun, like everyone hanging out, shots here, shots there, you know. Like I just love that rough style of skate videos. And like one of his biggest intention with this was like, I want it to be fun. I want it to feel fun, because a lot of people take this so seriously. And yeah, there's a certain level of seriousness that we should have, but also at the end of the day, one wheeling is about having fun and riding your one wheel and being creative and spreading the stoke. And so I want it to have that just like goofy fun. We're out here just vibing, and it totally worked out because we did the Cali Mike part where he like rolls his ankle, and we went and spent the whole day running around with seaweed on his head, which we have a whole 20-minute bit of Cali Mike that we need to release. And that little gas station bit, I was like, dude, we should just go to a gas station, get goofy glasses and just have you mess around. And like that worked out perfectly. And we were just having so much fun together. So I feel like the playfulness comes through, but still just like hammers and good shots. But one of the things that I wanted to do was not overproduce it and
Yep.
have it still feel raw and like rough, and so that when somebody sees it, they're like, I could do this. Like I could make something like this.
Yeah, they might
Because
be able to
I feel
film
like
it
there's
maybe, but that writing's next level, okay? But still, even the shots, you did really
you
well.
can strive towards it.
Yeah,
Hey, it just takes time. Put some miles in, baby.
yeah, I'm not saying it's not, but to watch that, I mean, if somebody's wanting to be a street rider, they can watch that every day and find inspiration to get out there and ride and be creative and look at something and go, I'm going to just work this feature all day, because they were just banger after banger. You know what I mean? Like and I did like the seaweed on the head. I said to the kids when we were watching it all together, I go, I don't think I've ever seen cricket without a hat on. That was like for a split second you saw it where he put seaweed on. I was like, I've never seen that before. I was like, whoa. And so that was a pretty fun moment. And again, people watching today the podcast going, this guy picks up on some of the weirdest details in videos. I've told you countless
When it comes
times.
to videos, you're very detailed.
I like that. It hit all
He's
the
a
boxes.
video maker.
Yeah, so you just pay attention to how people are doing that. How'd you get the shots? How many cameras are involved? But you need more of these, Bodhi. It was great. It's cool to have a lot more content coming out inside the street side of it, because you get a lot of footage on trails, because there's just a beauty of trails, right? Like sunsets and sunrise. All those are great moments. But to have these moments on the street, because now people can go out their back door for the most part and go ride some of these things. Whereas the trails, when you watch a video, you got to go now to that trail system, right? Like that's happened to me a bunch. I watched a lot of content coming out from the headquarters there on the Redwood Forest. Well, guess where I wanted to ride? Redwood Forest, because I don't have forests like that around here. And so the great thing about streets is we all got streets, and you just go look to, hey, I'm going to go hit that. I'm going to go to a skate park. So great job on that, man. If people are wanting to go watch it, these videos we speak of are all on Onewheel's YouTube channel. Here's just the opening clip. Like we took a really quick clip right there. You can find it. There's the name. Freestyle Onewheel film featuring cricket. Just look for that. You'll find it. Again, we applaud you from here, Bodhi and Cricket. You guys nailed that. You did really good.
Yeah. Definitely look like you're having fun.
Yeah, and to know that he was a part of the unboxing one, again, great vibes. It just is telling a good story in there. So, Bodhi, what a wild story you've had over the last year. Or is it? I don't know the date time. Are we talking about when did you start there at the headquarters?
I think we just passed the year mark because I came around like October-ish last year.
Oh, yeah, that's about right. Yeah, somewhere right at the end of the race season, because Windman was the last. It's all coming together now for me. It was right after Windman at the beginning of October. So, a year. I mean, just to hear you talk about being sober and things of that nature, it's pretty cool, even for me, and to hear that, what a year, right? Like new job and all those things, but to hear that life is getting in some kind of order in the last year, we applaud that more than your video making skills, my friend.
Love that for you.
That you would be finding that peace in that side of things, and so, and then to see a board like the XR Classic, because I've known, I don't know if that's one of your favorite boards is the XR. And so to see you be able, because you were even sharing at the LA pop-up shop is where we met Bodhi for the first time. We talked, he taught us how to ride a rainbow rail at the pop-up shop. And so that was pretty cool. And then to see where you are today, I remember being at the pop-up shop and it was towards the evening, not many people around there at the point. And you're like, man, I just want to help influence the sport. I want to be able to create Onewheels and all this stuff. To be a part of that conversation out at the pop-up shop, to see where you are today, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? What a journey to know this isn't it's not a poaching of a person or anything. It's your chasing your dream, and that's pretty cool, man.
That was 6 years ago.
6 years ago was LA?
6 years ago.
That's crazy.
It's cool that you guys do have that insight because, we talked about it a little bit before the show, but there's certain rumors that were going around during the transition, certain rumors that have gone around since that recent documentary came out. But this has been my dream. It's been my dream since childhood to be a professional shredder and to have my living be being creative and sharing stoke. And being a part of this with these guys is something I've wanted to do for a long time. You know, people call me a sellout. They say I was bought to be silenced. They say I was poached. All of this is not true. I came on my own accord. I left to come here to be a part of making Onewheels better, to be a part of growing the sport, to focus more on my riding and have my riding be more supported, and not only cater to the current community, but help get more people into one-wheeling from outside of one-wheeling. And all of that has happened. I've been able to be a part of
Awesome.
getting better bumpers for the Pint, wider foot pads for the boards, helping encourage the Pint S product, helping encourage the XR Classic product, helping start the Flow team, the Grom team, creating videos, doing tons of demos. In Huntington Beach, we did over 800 demos. X Games, we're doing demos and demonstrations. Like, it's all coming to fruition. And
Yeah.
the people that are spreading those lies that I'm a sellout or I did this for money is just completely incorrect. And it literally does not even bother me a single bit because I know it's not true.
It bothers me though. If it's not going to bother you, Bodhi, it bothers me. Like, I mean, it just does. Like, because I know it's not true, and it's a narrative that doesn't help the community or help you. I guess I'll take it on for you though. It bothers me.
I think that's amazing though, that you can, like when you realize like, hey, here's what the dream is and what I'm supposed to go and do and like be a part of. It goes beyond you. And so those things can be like, I don't care about that stuff because I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So props to you for being able to just let it go and do what you're supposed to do.
Shake it off.
Yeah. What are they? What is it? As water runs off the back of a duck.
Oh, water under the.
Yeah.
No, it's because water doesn't stick to a duck; it just rolls off.
Yeah,
Well
like
done.
hydrophobic.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like to close that whole thing, because we don't need to get hung up on it at all.
Nah.
It'd be a waste of time. Haters are gonna hate.
Taylor Swift
Like,
said
no
that.
matter what you do, haters are going to hate. And that's why it's so important to be a lover and a peacemaker
Right.
and somebody that spreads love and spreads joy. And if you're doing your best to be positive and spread love, and you're doing what you feel is the best for yourself and the people around you, because you have to strike that balance. You can't be completely selfless, but you can't be completely for everybody else and not take care of yourself. You know, if you feel like you're doing your best to be there for yourself, be there for what you do, chase your dreams and stay positive, then you know, like 99.99, if not 100% of the hate is just hate, and it's going to be hate. And you can't let it get to you, because that's all they want, is they just want to tear you down and make you feel bad.
And you got a whole lot of love in the chat coming.
Yeah, I just texted you a screenshot.
Yeah, I at the end of the day, people aren't a lot of people that have opinions aren't close enough to the subject matter to actually have an opinion. They're so far away, they're formulating an opinion without all the pieces of every side or all the conversations behind closed doors, right? That's what happens. And so, but yeah, let's swing the door closed, move on. Let's ask this big question as 2025 approaches.
Woohoo!
Will we see Bode racing on trails at all this year?
Buddy.
Is there no comeback?
So
I didn't even prep you on this question.
Your head,
I didn't even prep him on this one. But yeah, I want to hear it, man, because again, being around this.
I'll tell you where I'm at.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Basically, to start, from the moment I left racing to now, racing has gone like up.
Yeah, I saw Mel
boards
said
are
it.
faster, boards are stronger. The whole free foot gang, hooks, no hooks thing is basically been defeated. Like, every race allows hooks now. So if you want to perform at a high level, place well, you basically have to hook into your board.
Yeah.
So already when I got hurt, it was a very awakening experience for me, because I'm a skateboarder at heart. I'm a snowboarder at heart. Like, for me, finding new maneuvers to do and ways to piece things together and capture them on film and create art with a board is really like my deepest passion.
Yeah.
Racing is fun. It's exciting. It's cool when you do well and you're on the podium and people are cheering you on. But at the end of the day, like when I got hurt, I really had to like check myself and search my heart of like, is this really what I want to do? Am I doing this for me? Am I doing this for people? And when I really thought about it, I was mostly racing for my sponsors and for my fans because I wanted to provide value for my sponsors, make their equipment look good. I
Yeah.
wanted to stoke out my fans because, you know, people want to see me on the trails. But getting hurt riding took a lot of other things away from me. You know, I'm obsessed with one wheeling and I do it all the time. But I also love to skateboard. I love to surf. I love to do other things. I've been, you know, I got a bike. I've been riding my bike more. And when you get hurt bad enough, you can't do anything else. And certain
Yep.
injuries can be like career ending, you know, full knee blowout, back,
Right.
neck. Our bodies are so resilient and beautifully made and designed, but at the end of the day, like we are pretty delicate. So
Yeah.
I getting hurt was a pretty rude awakening, and I was out for so long because I shattered the collarbone, had to get it repaired, had to wait to get the metal out because the plate was so big, got the
Right.
plate out, re-broke
Broke
it
it,
being
yeah.
dumb, doing a backflip. And so I've just been out of the game for so long, and I'm just in the last few months, like I'm still not even at 100% with my shoulder, but it's solid and it's getting there. So I'm at least going to take a season, if not two, to just focus on freestyle and focus on still being a part of racing. Like
Yep.
doing the commentary at Race to the Rail this year was
Oh,
so
man.
rad. That was like a dream
That's
come true.
great.
You did so
I had
good at
so
that,
much
Bodhi.
fun.
It was so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a blast.
To have your you have race experience, you know the board inside and out, and you know the racers. You and Jack did so
That's good.
spectacular.
That's
To rewatch it, you know, we were there for it live, but then to rewatch it, well done, man. It was as professional as I seen it done in a long time at Race for the Rails. You did, yeah. So to know you're not out of the sport is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Though,
Well, and such an
Well,
appreciation
there's so
for
many
where the
people
sports come
now.
from.
yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I've been able to see it grow, and there's so many racers and so many elite level riders and so many rad men and women that are like pushing the boundary of the sport. Like I don't feel like racing needs me to be a part of it in any way.
to progress
On
the
the
sport.
board,
Yeah,
but I think I can definitely be a big part of helping with commentary, helping with
Yep.
course design, helping with shooting the races,
yeah,
leading up to them. Like there's other strengths that I have that I can still be a part of the race scene without being a racer myself.
Yeah.
Coaching, like I still know how to do it well. So that's kind of like where I'm at right now is I want to help racing grow from the behind the stage and
Yep.
give the stage to all these incredible riders that are out there pushing the limits right now.
yeah.
And maybe pop back in there because like I gotta if I go my whole life without ever winning Race to the Rail, like that'd
Oh
be
wait,
kinda
now we're
crazy.
coming back. Now you're leaving it dangling it, aren't you? You're like, maybe I come back.
I mean, if and when I do come back, I'm gonna be looking like Luke Austin times 2, bro. I'm gonna have football shoulder pads on.
yeah.
I'm gonna have 3
Luke Austin
chest
times
plates
two.
on. I'm
Just
gonna
get
have an exoskeleton bubble.
Yeah. Get his. Just go down the hill in a Zorb ball. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what it is. Just
If
wear
you
one of those
could
big
win that with that sail,
that
it
Zorb
would
ball.
be incredible.
Well, you know what? If
That's
you
a
got
sail.
out early start, no one's passing you because you're taking up the whole single,
True,
so you'd be
true.
all right. No, I could say like, yeah, you've gotten second. We've always, when you've been in the mix, we've always you've been our go-to. It's been I'm gonna be honest, as a fan, as you come out of the scene, you know, the Silvas have come to the surface, and we've really pulled for them. If you had to battle out against, I don't know, it'd be a hard one for us to go. It would just be you would tear us apart here, okay? As a family, we'd be
Tearing up
torn.
our heart.
But I could celebrate a comeback. But I also can see when you're saying you're that liaison between the race to the community that doesn't understand it, right? Like for those that when this gets back on ESPN, hopefully this fall it gets aired, and you're speaking knowledgeably on how a board activates and all, and Jack knows it as well, but you coming from a racer experience, I think you're going to pull in those that are watching on ESPN because people are going to watch it going, what is this? And your ability to connect through the screen to those is going to help get more people involved in the sport. Because I want the sport to grow because I like the community and I like the vibe around it. I like action sports. And it just feels like, even with all some of the turmoil that keeps getting thrown into it, it all is just getting it's mixed into a pot. And at some point, this thing's going to explode. And it's going to be a version of, like, I think, like X Games. You know, X Games back in the 90s, no one knew what it was. It was kind of weird at times. And then all of a sudden, it just had the right ingredient and dropped it in the pot. And then it took off. And I can see that with you now bringing in the street side of things. Oh man, like the street side, the laying down a line, that's going to change. Bringing in another group of people. Oh wait, I can take what I could do on a skateboard now to this. It's going to just continue to grow the sport. So I'm excited about where your involvement in it, Bodhi. It's pretty cool to see. Again, when Lily said 6 years, I was like, wow. Like, we try to tell people we've been around for a while, and I've never done the math, but we've been with Onewheel stuff since before the LA pop-up shop because that was the pint had just dropped. We were rocking the XR. We have a Plus running around here, so it's been a long time. And it's cool to watch your progression.
The crazy thing, too, in the sense of, like, growing the sport is racing, I think, will always be a key part of expanding the sport and making it look extreme and showing the next level, you know, the upper echelon of what's possible. But
yeah,
we have homies in X Games, and we've heard a rumor that X Games is legitimately looking at one-wheeling as something they want to include in the X Games.
Yeah,
and they don't want to include racing. They want freestyle one-wheel in X Games.
They need to. Or they're going to miss they're going to miss the new wave of sports, which is motorized, right? PEVs. And to have a one wheel, I think, again, I'm biased. I got no problems with the the
EUC.
Yeah, thank you, EUCs. I got no problems with, but I do think they don't have a vibe. I'm not knocking it, but when you go and look at,
easy there's some.
I know there's.
They can do some big old jumps though. They can do some
mind blowing.
And EUC racing is
ridiculous.
Nuts. EUC racing is wild.
We watched one the other day.
I saw a wipeout of a girl. Unbelievable.
They got the speed wobble going on there, and it's like they're not coming back from this, and it's just. I was like, oh no.
And the wheel just like.
Yeah. No, and I'm not, like, I know I'm kind of poking fun, but I'm with all love. I think if you can't laugh at yourself, I can laugh at myself being a guy. You know, I look like a goose going down the road because I'm the tallest, and then I have 8 kids behind me on a one wheel. I can laugh at myself. Come on, I look.
And then there's me.
Yeah, and then Holly, my wife, way back there. So I can laugh at myself. I'm just saying, one wheel fits the vibe of the X Games, and boy, would I celebrate that. That'd be so rad. To have,
it's gonna happen.
It'd just be so cool. My mind blows up as I just think about what you could do if they'd let you in on the street park. And
you always keep saying somewhere like down, like we talk.
That's
about,
for racing.
Yeah, but like even Minneapolis, like using like just different. Like you have to be able to.
The problem one wheel racing has,
like a super or what's it called?
Motocross does a version
motorcycle racing where it's like part street and part dirt.
Yes. Motocross, is it? I don't know. Austin would know.
No. And they use like kitted up, like beefy looking dirt bikes, but they have street tires on it.
Yeah.
Come on, chat. Somebody in the chat.
Yeah, somebody in the chat come through. Yeah, but the great thing about that sport is that they can do it inside an a football field in a sense, so fans can watch. I think the problem one wheel has as a sport. When it comes to spectatorship, it's almost impossible the way it is right now. We did it Windman, it was dual slalom, and that was very spectator friendly. Boy, just the energy was like none other because they lined the entire course. The silvers were there, they can tell you, and just people cheering. that's what you need in the sport is the availability for spectators that don't want to run it, but they want to watch it in a street style course in an X Games. All of a sudden, you're being able to sit there and I can watch, and now you've got this spectator part to it. That's how this thing blows up, in my opinion.
For sure.
It'd be sweet.
I agree.
It'd be sweet, and I think
That's one thing we're trying to keep in mind as we're trying to figure out where we want to do Race to the Rail this next year, is trying to find a place that's the most spectator friendly that it could be. And I think we're also talking about, this is at this point is just a rumor, but I think we might be moving in this direction. I might get in trouble for saying this, but probably not.
well, I don't have to delete
you don't have to say it online.
We're probably gonna do some of the slots in Race to the Rail, like where you can show up and qualify. So there'll still be a point system throughout the season, but there should be an ability for you to like pull up to Race to the Rail and have like a time trial and pick a certain allotment of racers just like on the scene, you know, so you can either qualify in or you can just show up, because like the point system is really cool and it legitimizes it in a sense, but at the same time it makes it so you have to go to a lot of races to get points,
which is challenging. We feel that a lot of times.
Yeah, you got to either you got to your job's got to allow you to do that, right? And you got to have a lot of resources to do something of that nature, because they seem to be a lot of races on the coasts and not much in the Midwest. I know Texas and Arkansas have a few here and there at times, but you just don't have the Midwest full of them. And so at least for us, we got to go to the coasts, and that's just the buy-in to the sport right now. And it's a young sport, so it's going to be difficult at the early days, and then it's going to get better.
Right.
But it's hard, that buy-in to get to all the races, to get to enough points, to have like what I keep picturing is the David and Goliath scenario. You have your Goliaths who have earned all the points, and you get this David who gets to come in, and they're like untested. Rumors are pretty good, and then they win. But now I think if you go into a bracket system, well, you game here by here, you're going to go up against one more time trial against a big pro. Oh, that could be the drama. Oh, man.
Get another wild card situation. Remember when Floaty was a wild card and he won?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And the energy was crazy because you're like, this is, like, he's still around. I can't believe he's made it this far. And then he just, Yeah. Well, he did it.
You guys remember when he threw his helmet? He like threw his helmet and I grabbed him and hugged him, and he's hugging me and catches the helmet.
Yeah. If everybody wants to see that, I believe it's still on Onewheel's channel. Yeah, the whole thing was epic. I think that was during COVID, was it, or something? That was a different location.
That might have been the COVID year. That was when it was in Utah.
Yeah, because
I think we did Snow Basin twice. First time was COVID.
Yeah, I can't remember which. I just remember that's the location because I was just like, what? Yeah. Well, we know you're a busy man. You've given us a considerable amount of time. I could talk to you all day, Bodhi. It's been an honor to be with you. I know that you've got the pop-up shop happening on the premises. Sweet. Can you give some details for any of those are still, they can pop it? Give them the breakdown. What's happening?
So if you come to the Onewheel headquarters right now, you get a free Onewheel. No, I'm just kidding.
Shoot, book me a flight.
No. So we have our front like reception room set up as a showroom right now. So 10 to 6 all week. You can come on down, come hang out with us. We've got the Straight Rail Classic, the XR Recurve Classic, XR Classic Recurve. And also if you want to try a Pine S, GT, GTS, whatever, any board we offer, you can come try it out and just awesome. Come hang out with us. We've got a Ninja Turtles game.
Yeah, that's fun. From the pop-up shop.
Have we had that since the pop-up?
Yeah, it was there.
Dude, that's pretty crazy. But yeah, so it's just come hang. You know, we're just chilling in there, getting work done while nobody's there. But yesterday Ben brought us cookies, Philip brought us donuts. So feel free to bring us pastries and treats. That'll extend your demo time.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, we just wanted to open things up and give people a chance to come try out the board because, like you said, like you want to ride it. You know, it's hard to just be like, "Yep, I want it." Like you look at the specs of the XR Classic and you're like, yeah, I'm down. But
No,
it's
I
also,
want it,
you know,
Bodhi. I
yeah,
want it. So that's
yeah,
not
you
a
do.
question.
Yes, he
I can
does.
confirm that.
He
It's
does
a
want
I
his.
want
really,
it.
I
really
can
incredible
The
confirm
board.
as
struggle we
well.
got around here, and this is our world issues, is that because we have so many racers, young, our top 4 kids, they're racing,
They're
and if
itching. They're ready to go.
they got to get GTSs to stay competitive this year. So it's like, okay,
They gotta hold on. They
What?
have to get racing gear. To stay
yeah.
competitive.
We do send them out with,
Priority number 1.
yeah.
That's right.
I don't know if
Send
you
them
talk
out
to.
in shorts and flip flops and a swimming cap. No, that'll be fine.
No, we put a helmet on them at least. My goodness, and
No,
we
I'm
tape
kidding,
spatulas
I'm
to their
kidding.
hands for their gloves.
No, wrist
Spatulas.
guards,
Yeah.
elbows,
Yes.
chest plate.
Well, if you're talking to me, throw all that helmet and wrist guards. Yeah, let's get them the GTS. But there's the struggles. Like, we need to get GTSs. I want the punt or the XR Classic. So it's a struggle around here, man. It'd be really
You
cool
got
to
a
be
lot
able.
of Ninos.
Yeah.
Legend said it. He's ready to show up and qualify.
Yeah. He's over here when you said
Go,
that.
Legend.
He wants to
he
do
like
it.
got up and was like, "What? What?" He's
I'm a
ready
bit
to
old
go.
I'm going
school.
training right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, they're-
clocking out, Mom and Dad. I'm going.
These kids, they train. They get after
Hard
it.
workers.
They
That's what it takes.
they're stoked on it. They have aspirations, but they have a dad that's got a bit of old school in him that I keep telling you got to win your bracket, your age group, whatever you're in. You ain't just going to call yourself pro. You got to earn it, so you got to win. And so, they can grumble and complain about that at times, but I'm like, no, win it, and then you're in. So that you
Well,
can
that's
say
the
you.
way, because you don't want to just jump up into a class to be in the class and get pummeled and work your
Right.
way up the ranks. But you also don't want to sandbag. So I think you're right. It's good to win your age bracket, win amateurs,
Yep.
like work your way up, and don't be sandbagging the amateur
Right.
class.
Yeah, keep progressing in it, and so that's what we've been teaching them, and they've done really well. So this might be the year they win it. So
The boys are fast.
they're getting it, man. They're getting it. But Bodhi, once again, thank you for your time, man. We are huge fans here of you. We are
Always have
always sending good vibes your way, praying for you. Keep pumping out the content. Make wise decisions. Stay
visit.
sober. Yeah, come to Minnesota.
Yes.
So, all right, buddy, we'll let you get back to
Love
work.
you guys.
Tell
Bye,
everybody out
buddy.
there we
We
said
love
hi,
ya.
and thank you for allowing us to have you for a little bit over an hour, okay?
Yeah, for sure. Keep doing amazing stuff, guys. I love your show. Love everything you do.
Thank you, Bodhi.
I want you to give every single one of the kids a big, tight squeeze and hug from
A
Cousin
Bodhi
Bode.
hug.
Will
Okay,
do.
we'll do that.
All of them.
We will. They're
And the
all two.
ladies. Everyone.
Two of
Will
them
do.
are right
And then
here.
everyone has to group hug and send me that group hug energy.
Oh my gosh! Do you know how long
All
this
right.
is going to take? First, we have to go get these free-range children.
I love
all
that you
back.
said that because I always love hugging them, and then they're always like,
Yeah. We're gonna have to
So,
ring the
we'll
see. You'd be like,
dinner
"It's from
bell
Bodhi."
premature.
That's right.
We have a big old dinner bell that sits outside when we won't call
No
them
way.
in. We just ring it, and they just come from the woods, and they just come up because they're
You
they're
thought you were
running-
getting mac and cheese. Psych,
yeah.
Getting a
No,
hug.
it's just a big group hug for Bodhi. All right, Bodhi, stay warm out there. Don't want you to get cold out there and we got humid, cold California
You rock,
weather.
Bodhi.
Love you, bro.
Love y'all. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh man, it was an honor to be with Bodhi
Oh,
today.
we just love Bodhi.
Yeah. Wow.
It's been a long time since we've caught up with
It
him. so
has.
It's really great.
Yeah, so it's good to hear
and
him.
so much love in the chat for him.
And
That's
rightfully so.
Great. So great.
People
Love
are
it.
watching, like they can see through your shot that it's getting dark there. Yeah, we got some serious. One, this time of year, the daylight is running out. Okay, you get less and less of it, and then it's just a dreary, cold fall day. And so, yeah, it's getting dark, but just a pleasure to be with Bodhi. I like that he allowed us to just ask a little bit of questions about, hey, where you at? As people calling you out, I think he closed the door on that. We can move forward.
Yeah.
He's moving forward. So cool to hear his thumbprints are all over the XR Classic.
Yep. It's great.
Just-
He's doing great things. I love the idea of what he wants to do to progress. And of course, we all love the racing world, but there's so much more to it.
Yeah.
And I think that was my takeaway to just being able to chat with him today is we talk racing and you want to fast forward and this and that. And it's great. That's great.
Yeah.
There's so much more to one wheeling. And that,
Yep. And
just a
Bodhi
great
kind of is the
reminder.
poster guy for it. Thank you for everybody joining us today. Hey, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We drop Onewheel content. Right now, we're in a season of doing podcasts a ton. We have so much video content sitting in our computer. We just got to get the time to edit it down and get it cranked out. So thank you for being with us. Thanks for everybody joining us in the chat. The chats are fun to keep going. And so we're very grateful to have everyone here today. Holly, thanks for being with us.
Always.
To our team that makes the videos look great, Legend and Historic
job
today.
today.
Good job. Lily is no longer here. She had to vamoose, so it's been a good one as her empty chair is shown there. Thank you for that. Everybody, stay safe out there. Enjoy riding your Onewheel. Bye, everybody.